Right now at 5 on WHAS 11 News, our coverage on the big development last week, and one of the top mysteries in Bardstown is continuing here tonight. In Nelson County, there are 4 families waiting for answers in 4 different high-profile cases. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Shay McAllister. One of those families got big news last week with an arrest in the Crystal Rogers case, but her family isn't the only one paying attention.
Do you feel like an arrest in Crystal's case is bringing you closer to some movement in Jason's?
I think it's hard for us because there hasn't been a lot of new information on Jason's case from the very beginning. We've kind of been at a standstill from the beginning. For us, there's a possibility that the cases are connected, and so for us that makes us very hopeful that if they can make traction on one, that it'll bring answers for others, but then also it could not be connected, and then where does that leave us when there's not been any new information on Jason's case?
Bardstown police officer Jason Ellis was killed on his way home from work in May of 2013. Investigators called it an ambush, describing purposefully placed tree limbs right on the highway exit that lured that public servant from his vehicle before he was shot and killed. Well, today in an interview you'll only see here on WHAS 11, I sit down with the Ellis family.
What were they even doing there? I don't know. Messing with mom, obviously.
For this family, photos are sacred, bringing them back to better times.
There he is. That's Jason.
Memories this mother
Yeah, that's when he went to the police academy.
hopes to never forget.
Oh, my little boy.
It's been a while since you guys have sat down to do an interview. Why did today feel like an okay time?
I definitely think it's time to talk about him more. It's been 10 years with no answers. It's been 10 years with no arrest made for his case either. So I definitely think it's time to start speaking up and almost demanding the answers that I think we deserve.
In between her daughters, Jason's sisters, Pam Deerwester puts it simply.
The bottom line is Jason was a good guy.
A good guy they want to see remembered for who he was, not how he died. Something they say will only happen when his case is closed.
There is some momentum happening in other cases. We're kind of getting that boost again to feel a little more confident that time could be coming for answers.
Investigators have never fully linked Jason's case to Crystal Rogers. But in 2020, the FBI told us they believed answers in one Bardstown case could lead to answers in others. The family agrees.
It's hard to not go there, though, too, because there seem to be similar people connected to each case.
So news of the arrest in Crystal's case was welcomed. It was also surprising.
It's hard not to be caught off guard, though. You know, you scroll Facebook or pop on the news, and then it's all these developments. An investigator can't even call me and tell me that this is kind of coming down the pipeline.
What's your communication like with investigators on Jason's case?
That's probably been the most disappointing part for us because we don't hear anything. Outside, maybe the first couple of months after Jason was killed, it's kind of been radio silence.
They're in Kentucky, we're in Ohio. Right. So we're not easy access like maybe Crystal's mom.
Do you guys ever go to Bardstown for any reason?
We were just there not too long ago.
Yeah? What's it like when you visit?
Loving. They're very open arms with us and very loving with us.
I definitely think there's also an eerie feel.
It is. That's what I was going to say.
There's a lot of new people we don't know.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And you feel it.
It's odd. You feel the dark cloud and the tension.
For Lacey, Jason's baby sister, there's a reason she feels that way. Some lingering questions about who might be behind her brother's death.
What police officer's case is still open in the United States? It makes me think that they don't want it solved. They're burying stuff under the rug, and
Or there's
too much that's going to come out.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me nervous.
The one thing they're certain of,
We know the FBI isn't up fully on Jason's case, but I think there's more going on behind the scenes than we even know.
and they hope when answers do arrive, they get all of them.
We want to make sure that when this goes down, everybody who was responsible have to answer for it. We deserve it.
Yeah. I think we all deserve it. I think everybody in that town that has lost somebody deserves it.
Kentucky State Police is the lead on Jason Ellis's case, but the FBI says they're accepting and working tips on all of the Bardstown cases. You can report information anonymously at crystalrogerstaskforce.com/tips. Now, more on that man arrested in Crystal Rogers' case last week. It's Joseph Lawson. He's charged with tampering with physical evidence and conspiracy to commit murder. His next court date is set for the end of October. Lawson's currently in federal custody.
Happening today here at 5, Robin Fields Kinney was named the interim commissioner of the Kentucky Department of Education, leading the state's education effort at the moment. Kinney is currently an associate commissioner who oversees the Office of Finance and Operations. Kinney served briefly as interim commissioner in December of 2019 after the former commissioner at the time, Wayne Lewis, left the job in Kentucky. She'll begin her role as interim commissioner on September 30th, the day after the current commissioner, Jason Glass, leaves the job. She will not, however, be eligible for the role of permanent commissioner of education.
More news right here at 5 o'clock. Metro Police are looking for witnesses to a deadly hit and run near PRP. It happened around 11 last night on Global Drive right near the Greenbelt. Police say they found a person who had been hit by a car. That person did die at the scene. The suspect car was found there. The driver had left. As of right now, there's no suspects in this case. If you can help police, call with new information to 574-LMPD.
We do have a new update for you on that Louisville Metro Police traffic officer, school crossing guard who was struck by a semi-truck in a hit-and-run case last week. According to LMPD posting these photos on their Facebook page, there's Officer Gertrude Schafflein, and she also suffered a life-changing injury, having one leg amputated as part of her injuries there. They say she's now in extensive physical therapy, adjusting to her new normal life. The driver of the semi was arrested after many tips from the public and charged with leaving the scene, assault, and disregarding traffic control. Officer Schafflein has been on the force for 48 years and was stationed at that intersection many years.
The former Kentucky clerk who was denied a marriage license to gay couples will have to pay damages. A jury made that decision in the case against Kim Davis. In 2015, Davis worked as a clerk in Rowan County. A jury ruled she will have to pay $100,000 to one of the couples that she denied. That's David Ermold and David Moore. An attorney for Davis says she does plan to appeal that verdict. However, a couple in a different situation, a different case, James Yates and Will Smith, also sued Davis. They were not awarded any damages. A different jury heard their case. Davis was jailed for 5 days in 2015 for refusing to issue licenses. She was released after her staff issued the licenses on her behalf, but removed her name from the form.
Happening very late last night, an historic building in downtown Louisville badly damaged, and the restaurant on the ground floor could be closed for a while after a major fire.
That sad update comes after the fire had 100 firefighters on the scene last night, all before midnight. Louisville Fire says one firefighter was injured after a brick wall collapsed. He's expected to be okay. He was treated at the hospital. The Japanese restaurant Osaka on the ground floor there was hit badly. WHAS11's Ian Hartwitt shares the impact on nearby businesses.
Louisville Fire considers the burned building unstable. The area blocked off with red tape is where they're concerned.
It's still standing, right? But there was some collapse in the rear. That's how our firefighter got hurt. So we just want to take all the precautions we need to.
The Salad Chick right behind me, next door to Osaka, will be closed until further notice, according to the owner's Facebook page. Louisville Fire says the blaze didn't reach her restaurant, but there was water damage.
This area on West Market Street will see Derby City Gaming move in during the last quarter of this year, but the loss of a building and business still stings. The pandemic's effect on downtown foot traffic lingers. Osaka, the Salad Chick, and Vincenzo's all operated during the difficult time.
Trying to break through that and come back. We welcome everyone, although losing one restaurant impacts all of us. We are all part of a downtown family, and we hope that Osaka will be able to welcome guests soon.
Connie Bailey also hopes for a future where downtown's buildings are full and thriving with guests. Nearby sports bar The Groove closed for the day, but reopens soon. In downtown Louisville, Ian Hartwitt, WHAS 11, on your side.
Arson investigators are still working to find the cause of that fire. The ATF is assisting them. We'll bring you updates on how this fire got started as soon as we get them. Keep an eye on WHAS11.com.
Happening today, President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, has been indicted by a special counsel, David Weiss, on felony gun charges. The criminal charges come after the plea agreement struck between Hunter Biden's legal team and prosecutors fell apart earlier this summer. The new indictment accuses Hunter Biden of making false statements in the purchase of a firearm and for false statements related to information required to be kept by federal firearms licensed dealer. A third count accuses Hunter of possession of a firearm by a person who is an unlawful user or addicted to a controlled substance. Altogether, the president's son is facing up to 25 years in prison.
There's a couple of weekends a year where you really want fantastic weather, and for everybody heading out to Bourbon and beyond, this is certainly one of them.
So many events out there, and look at the gift they're getting. Nearly clear skies, just a few clouds out there, and Christina San Juan is going to track it right through the weekend, and you see no rain in sight, Christina. I hope I'm not putting words in your mouth.
No, you're absolutely not. We are going to be staying dry over the next 24 hours or so. I do have some rain in the forecast, but it's not for everybody. I'll show you that here in just a moment, because soak up all of the sunshine that we have out there. Crystal clear blue skies for us. Just a shame if you're not able to get out and about and enjoy this beautiful weather, as temperatures are below average for this time of year. The only places sitting in the lower 80s right now here in the city, and over to Springfield, where we're sitting in the lower 80s, upper 70s across southern Indiana. We have 78 from E-Town over to Shepherdsville. So everybody getting in on this fall-like weather. Out the door tomorrow morning, it's certainly going to be feeling like fall, as we're waking up to temperatures that are going to be in the middle 50s, even some upper 40s if you're on the outskirts of town. Then heading home, we're warming on up into the lower 80s. That's not the only 80s, though. I do have on the forecast. I'll tell you how much warmer it gets coming up in just a couple of minutes, guys.